It's 5:30. We'll call to order the meeting of the City Council of Cresco, Iowa for December 20th, 2021. Roll call.
Bruno.
Present.
McConnell.
Present.
Fortune.
Here.
Buska.
Yes.
Carmen.
Present. We'll act on the consent agenda, which is approval of the agenda, approval of the claims, approval of minutes from December 6th, 2021, approval of minutes from December 9th, 2021 budget work session, approval of a Class C liquor license with Sunday sales and outdoor service to Howard County Agricultural Society, DBA The Mighty Howard County Fair, Howard County Expo Center, and approval of excavator license for James Henry, DBA Henry's Backhoe Service, and Marachek Plumbing, Heating and Electric, LLC.
And
Was
we
there
have-
supposed to be a 7?
Yeah, sorry, that was, no.
Okay.
We have to do this pending Durham Shop approval for the Howard County Fair. It's still pending that, and the insurance company has not notified us yet, so if you would make the motion pending.
Okay.
Okay.
Second.
Oops.
Second is Amy.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking for a second. Carmen.
Yes.
Buska.
Yes.
McConnell.
Yes.
Bruno.
Yes.
Fortune.
Yes.
Okay, staff reports, Public Works.
Yep, 7th Street West will be closed tomorrow between Highway 9 and Stock Avenue for Memerts to come back in and do the sewer and water hookup for the Wemark building that he put up. They were doing it over the weekend, and apparently they hit a gas main that was there that Black Hills never marked because they thought it was an abandoned line, and apparently it's not. So they shut the operations down, and they're gonna do that tomorrow morning. Hopefully, it won't take very long from the way Rod made it sound. We did a special yard waste pickup today for the cleanup from the storms last week. Overall, the city fared out relatively well. We lost 4 or 5 trees up in Kessel. There was 1 tree across the street, but other than that, there wasn't much damage on our side of things, fortunately. And then I would just like to thank the residents of Cresco for working with us throughout the outage and conserving water. That really helped us out to avoid running the tower out of water, being our south well, which is the one that we're currently running on, does not have a backup generator, so I appreciate everybody's cooperation.
Great.
I had a couple people tell me too, they're really happy with how fast everything got cleaned up. They said kudos to the city crew, so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Police aren't here. Did Tim give you a report, Michelle?
He's still waiting on medical checks on his applicants, so he's kind of 1 step closer, but still waiting on the final.
Okay. And administration?
Just been busy, mostly with the budget and yeah, getting ready for calendar year end. We'll be doing W-2s. We did a payroll today, so we'll do W-2s next week probably and finish out the calendar year.
Super. Committee updates?
The Theater Commission had a meeting. The really neat news coming out of there was the Luther Opera, or Luther College Opera, is coming to Cresco April 24th at 2 p.m. Cricket approved the funds. They're in process and moving forward with that, so that's a pretty huge event to come to our community and our theater. They received an energy grant from the Bosca Foundation for insulating the back building cap. The rental agreements have been updated and they're on the website now. They adjusted some of the rental rates and things for different organizations renting the building, not only Champion, but the upstairs auditorium as well. They're actively looking into Friends of the Theater to help with fundraising, staffing, and other needs within the theater. And then the one thing that was brought to my attention, or they asked me to bring it to the council, was CCT currently has a storage container that's down at the sewer plant, I believe. And they've got it down in that area, and they're wanting to know in that area where we took off the scene shop, it's a gravel pad right now. Would the city be opposed to them bringing it up there, especially as they get closer to wanting to do a production this summer? Then they wouldn't have to make trips back and forth, and it would all be available right then and there. I said that I'd bring it up and then bring it back to them here in the at the next meeting, so.
Did you want to move it soon or wait till spring or?
They didn't say one way or another. The question was brought up, and I just said that I would bring it to the council. So I'm assuming that they would wait until spring, but I can get further detail on that and find out for sure.
And where'd you say that?
I'm
was gonna play?
assuming that it's on the pad on Hawes property.
That's what I think it's at Hawes property.
Yeah, it's obviously on our sewer department's driveway, but on Hawes property at the moment, so.
And where do they want to put it up there?
Right where the scene shop was taken
Okay.
down, where they put all the gravel down. I
Okay.
mean, the impact is really minimal. It's just more so for appearances, but they would appreciate it if it was able to be there, because that would prevent them from having to make multiple trips, and their tools and things would be readily accessible to them then, since they don't have the scene shop area to use, so.
As long as it's not gonna be there forever, you know, because then we're gonna run into issues with, because I've already had people in town that wanna bring in a unit like that, and I don't allow it, because they wanna make it a permanent structure, but,
No,
so we just have to be careful that they don't turn it into a permanent one.
Yeah, I mean,
So I
it'd be
think
like
maybe
it's-
they should wait till closer to production.
Right.
okay.
Any other?
I have a email here from Jerry Ferry that he had a conversation with Wayne Moss. Everything went good with their inspection of the ground and records. Their legal has sent a lease agreement to the city.
I've seen.
Okay,
What is this about?
the airport.
Oh, with the airport,
The
okay, yeah.
airport, the
That Moss landing thing.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll get back with you and say you haven't got the lease agreement yet. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I've got two. At the Regional Housing Authority, you know, obviously the big thing is how many port outs are we paying? And as long as it's under 10, we're usually pretty happy. These are where somebody moves to Cresco and gets housing through the Regional Housing Authority.
It gets funded or,
Right.
yep.
Well, now, that gives them the right to move back to in our case, usually Minneapolis or Chicago, or New York. And we have to pay, because they came on at our expense. So currently, we have 9, and those 9 are costing us $11,349 a month, or well in excess of $1,000 a month. A local housing, whatever you call it, to pay for an apartment is about $323 on average. So these 9 are taking out our ability to fund 27 people.
So, and we, the city, are not paying.
No, sorry, it
Yeah.
is these are all federal funds.
Yeah.
And then Howard County Economic Development, a lot of people missed the meeting because of the holidays. The hospital has hired a new surgeon starting, and I believe he will be starting on the 3rd of January. And the county, interestingly, did a land exchange up in Florenceville that will ultimately become, through various sub-exchanges, become an Amish furniture store.
Oh,
And they are also tipping the 3rd wind farm and are very excited about that. But that's it. Any comments from the audience? Vast audience. Okay. Our first item of business is a motion to appoint council member to fill vacancy on January 1st, 2022. Do we have any motions? And who would you like to move to appoint? Let the record show.
He pointed at you.
Gary Greener.
How do you say your last name?
Kriener.
Kriener?
K-R-I-E-N-E-R. Yep.
Okay, Kriener.
Is there a second?
I'd second.
Okay. Roll call?
Fortune?
Yes.
Breno?
yes.
Carmen?
Yes.
McConnell?
Yeah.
Buska?
Yes. Well, welcome to the city council. Why don't you come up and join
He
us?
doesn't officially,
Even though you're not official
Until
until
January.
January, but please come up and join us.
I think we should, don't you think we should wait? I mean, we're on TV and stuff, and it's gonna look like he's participating when he shouldn't be,
Oh, okay.
legally, maybe?
Okay,
Maybe.
okay, fine.
You'll hear the same there, but.
Yeah, you can, feel free to add to any discussion. Item 2 is the oath of office for mayor and council positions for January 1st, 2022. So I guess I would do Dave.
You are
and
going
then-
to do Dave and Gary,
Okay.
and then Mayor-elect will do Amy's.
Oh, okay,
So first, I'll do Dave.
all right. So I don't want to read this one because I'll read it.
Might be edited or seen.
Raise your right hand, please.
Okay. I, David Breno, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties of the office of mayor in Cresco as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We'll fix that.
Yeah.
I'll reprint it and have you able to sign it later.
I heard it go.
Well, suit, huh? Let's see here.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
I, Gary Greener, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, that I will faithfully, impartially, and to the best of my ability discharge all the duties of the office of council member in Cresco as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations. and
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you for volunteering. Afterwards, we'll get you to sign this.
Perfect.
We'll do the signing later.
Okay.
I, Amy Buska, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties of the office of council member in Cresco as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Go back to having a full council soon. Third reading of the summary of proposed ordinance, this should really be left over till Dave can read it. A proposed ordinance 492, amending chapters 105.10, 105.14, 106.02, and 106.08, subparagraph 1, pertaining to fees for recyclable and non-recyclable waste. Below is a summary of ordinance 492. A full copy of said ordinance may be obtained between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. weekdays at City Hall, 130 North Park Place, Cresco, Iowa, 52136, or on the city's website at www.cityofcresco.com. An ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cresco, Iowa by amending chapters 105.10, 105.14, 106.02, and 106.08, subparagraph 1, pertaining to waste storage containers and recycling program for solid waste control and vehicles and fees for recyclable and non-recyclable waste. Be it enacted by the City Council of the City of Cresco, Iowa as follows. Section 1, sections modified. Chapter 105.10 describes the container specifications. Chapter 105.14 states that all recycling shall be commingled and shall not be separated by the use of paper sacks or plastic bags or other means. All food containers must be clean. Chapter 106.02 states that each household will be furnished one cart for commingled recycling and one cart for non-recyclable waste. Light commercial accounts that do not require a dumpster will be furnished one cart for non-recyclable waste. Chapter 106.08, subsection 1, lists the fees that will be charged. These are all effective we'll do this. Solid waste residential, effective January 1st, 2022, $18.56 per month. Effective when carts are furnished, $21.35 per month. Recycling residential, effective January 1st, 2022, $5.14 per month. Effective when carts are furnished, $5.91 per month. Solid waste light commercial, effective January 1st, 2022, $23.02 per month. Effective when carts are furnished, $26.47 per month, 47 cents. If in the residential, at least one residential is 65 years of age or older, then effective January 1st, 2022, $17.85 per month. And effective when carts are furnished, $20.53 per month. All rates will increase by 4% on January 1st for the next 4 years ending December 31st, 2026. Section 2, severability clause. If any section, provision, or part of this ordinance shall be adjudged invalid or unconstitutional, such adjudication shall not affect the validity of the ordinance as a whole or any section, provision, or part thereof not adjudged invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, when effective, this ordinance shall be in effect from and after its final passage, approval, and publication as provided by law. Passed and approved on, actually, it's going to be this day. Do we have a motion to approve the third reading?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Buska.
Yes.
Fortune.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Carmen. Yes. McConnell.
Yes.
Item 4, approval of proposed ordinance 492, amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cresco, Iowa by amending chapters 105.10, 105.14, 106.02, and 106.08, subsection 1, pertaining to fees for recyclable and non-recyclable waste. So moved.
Second.
McConnell.
Yes.
Carmen. Yes. Buska.
Yes.
Fortune.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
5, request for sewer adjustment for water not entering the sanitary sewer system from Cody Phillips. Either Nate, well, I guess first we'd want Nate to tell us that it got checked, that no water went down into the sanitary sewer, right?
Yes, we clarified that with Drew, actually.
Okay. Did anybody have any questions or comments about this?
Where to go?
We don't know,
So
honestly.
there's
I
an
think we think it went to the storm sewer because he has
An
sump pump,
overflow
correct?
Oh.
that goes to the sump pump.
Right.
It's then pumped out, and with our sump pump inspection, we could tell there's no flow drain. So this one's a little different because it was so big and he didn't catch it until our first meeting. So that he came in and paid $400 on his bill. So he's also requesting to remove the penalty because the penalty was $106.83 because the bill was $1,468. And we're gonna give a credit of $904.63. So it doesn't seem fair to charge him 10% on the whole bill since we'll be crediting it. So the whole credit would be sewer credit $904.63 and a 10% penalty of $106.83.
I'd make that motion.
I'll second it. Bruno?
Yes.
McConnell?
Yes.
Fortune?
Yes.
Buska?
Yes.
And Carmen?
Yes. Item 6, motion to declare a public purpose for the $1,250 payment to Helping Services in accordance with the 28E agreement. This is the 28E agreement we just did last time, right?
Yep, and so it will be used for providing substance abuse and domestic abuse services to individuals and families in Iowa, Cresco area.
I'd make that motion.
I'll second.
Carmen? Yes. Buska?
Yes.
McConnell?
Yes.
Bruno?
Yes.
Fortune?
Yes.
Item 7, resolution authorizing transfer of funds for fiscal year 2022, December transfers. This is kind of clearing up end of the year stuff.
Yep, so mid-year, I usually would just do the transfers between different funds, and so that's what most of these are, is just the semi-annual transfer. These were all included in the budget, so.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Fortune?
Yes.
Bruno?
Yes.
Carmen? Yes. McConnell?
Yes.
Buska?
Yes. Let's see. Item 8, motion to reschedule the January 3rd, 2022 council meeting to January 5th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Buska?
Yes.
Fortune?
Yes.
Bruno?
Yes.
Carmen? Yes. McConnell?
Yes.
Item 9, discuss budget proposals and scheduled budget work session.
So I guess the big question is whether you feel like we want to go through the list of projects and if there's any that we know we want to cross out, or do you want to wait until we've kind of discussed some of the union negotiation items, which will have kind of an impact on our budget as well. I just thought that perhaps we could look at what was requested this year, and if there's anything you know that you want to either postpone or not do, we could cross it out at this point. I had sent this out last week, but the day that I sent it out, Nate or Dean or somebody,
I did, yeah.
Nate found a chip truck. So we had budgeted a chip truck for this year for $50,000, and we've been looking and we couldn't find anything for that price, and lo and behold, he found one. So we put in the budget for next year $80,000, because we thought that's what we'd have to spend. But Nate was able to find one, they went down, looked at it on Friday, and
We approved it tonight, right? With the-
Yes.
yep, and so we negotiated them down to 50,000, I think they were asking 52.
Yep.
And, so they're gonna go pick it up tomorrow if you guys approve that, so we can cross 80,000 out of next year's budget. If you had that original, when I reprinted it, I did delete it, so.
I have to say, I'm kind of, personally, and I'm stuck on it until I see the impact on the levy.
And that's fine, I didn't know if,
But I'm not
I know.
speaking for anybody else.
it's hard to make, yeah, a decision when you don't know the final overall numbers.
Right. And yeah, with the union stuff not too far, and maybe, I mean. Anyway,
And that is fine, kind of based on what you guys decide tonight for union negotiations. We've heard nothing on timing of that. I did call the attorney today, see if he'd heard anything, and he has not. But he said, I suppose you want to kind of know, and I said, well, it really impacts my budget, so yes. So he said we can try to push, to try to get it moving if we wanted to. Other years, I think we've always waited and left it in the union's hands to start it, but
What's the
I
length,
just don't want to be going right up to the deadline and,
Right.
what do
You
you
got any
discuss?
figures in mind yet? I mean, for the budget next year? Just if you had to grab a number, 5%, 10%?
and so I don't really want to say right now, because then
We'll go
the
into
employees
closed
would
session.
hear it, and then we don't want to, well, they're already going to offer us 5% or 10%, and then,
Yeah.
so I think we'll wait till the closed session to discuss what percentages, but yes,
Length of the
that's what we'll
contract
probably
you
end up
discussed?
doing, is just plugging some number and going.
What is the length of the contract you discussed?
You can
That's
do
an
any.
item to
That's
be
an item
discussed.
to be negotiated. Last time we did a 4-year, the time before was a 3-year,
Yeah,
so
longer the better.
usually 3 to 5 years is, it depends. There's a lot of unknowns this year, so I don't know.
So do we want to set this
Just hold
aside?
off on this, and then,
But,
we're not gonna schedule a work session before January 5th anyway, so
okay.
should we just hold off on everything? Unless anybody had any real strong feelings one way or another?
No, I don't think we hold off.
Okay. So that'll might be, give you some time to kind of look at that other graph that I handed out to, and, so, okay.
Because the 8.1, of course, is the big constraint, so.
So, right, the 810 levy is set by law, so that's the maximum property tax dollars we can get. And then I have to divide it between those departments.
No, we can get like the theater levy and the employee benefit levy.
Right, but the maximum 810
Right,
is
yeah.
is a certain dollar amount, so.
Okay, so we're going to sort of table this. Item 10 is discuss issues regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. You always have the most popular thing, John.
So I checked with Public Health this morning, and we are still continuing to give shots at the clinic. In January, it sounds like they're gonna focus on one brand a day, but they won't turn anybody away who walks in and wants a different shot. They use a vial of Moderna every day, and I believe there's 10 shots in each vial. They had a pop-up clinic and gave 26, and the Omicron variant is widespread. Right now in Howard County, the positivity rate is 13.8%. The vaccination rate is at 48.6. The death number for Howard County right now is 24.
For this year, or since it started?
From the
Since it
beginning.
started.
That's
From-
what I,
Yeah,
that's what
okay.
I would say too, from the beginning of the year.
That's what.
Right now, there's 19 long-term care breakouts in Iowa. And that's all I've got.
Is there beds available, do you know, if somebody needs to go to Rochester or La Crosse, or who knows?
I think it just depends day by day.
Yeah.
I will say that Mayo and I think the Olmsted Medical Center and one of the big Twin Cities Hospital took out a full-page ad in the Pioneer Press and the Star Tribune in the cities that said, "We are breaking. You need to mask up and get shots because we're just not going to be able to do this."
Because I think last month, or last meeting, was it 78%, or over 80% of the people in ICUs were non-vaccinated?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just got notice today from our attorney that on Friday, the Supreme Court, I can't remember the wording, overruled the stay for the mask mandates and the testing.
But that's,
And so that means that it's back into effect. They are gonna move back the time period before they'll start penalizing for not doing it, but it's still January, February, and you have to prove that you are working towards compliance. And today we had 98 people on our payroll, and we know we have a new council person, we have 2 new reserve officers, 2 new police officers, so I don't see any way after January that we're gonna be under 100, so we're going to start, we have to make all kinds of policies, some kind of a tracking system, all kinds of stuff. But of course, they still cautioned, because I think our governor is very much against it and is gonna fight it. So it still could be appealed, but I think we need to start the process, to get ready for it. So,
And if it moves forward, if you're not vaccinated, you have to get tested every week, is that correct?
every week you have to.
Before you come to work?
Mhm. And I don't know where we find tests, because you can't just go buy them, so it strictly says employer is not responsible for the cost of it, the time off for it, anything. So I don't know what happens when your people aren't showing the tests and aren't vaccinated, and it's kind of scary, so.
Mhm.
but, I mean, it certainly affects us. We had, 2 police out with COVID.
Yeah, we've had 3 in the past 2 weeks out with COVID.
Non-trivial.
3 total
And I
employees.
think a lady from Ridgeway died from COVID last week, or her funeral was this week, maybe. 58 or 9 years old, so.
So we certainly encourage everyone to get vaccinated. As Jen said, it's available and it's free. So now I take a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Iowa Code 20.17, subparagraph 3, a strategy meeting to discuss union negotiation matters.
So moved.
Second.
Carmen?